Howdy, howdy, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. I'll get comfortable here. So, yeah, I guess the fans had some questions, and I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions that were posted online in regards to my music and whatnot. And the first question that was asked is, this question came from Cindy in Missouri. It says, can you share the story how you first became involved in music? So, absolutely, I can share the story how I first became involved in music. At the early age of 11 years old is when I got my first guitar. During that time, I was living at my grandmother's house in Tijuana, and I was a stranger in a strange land. So my uncle, he was kind of like my big brother, was really into Pink Floyd and all this cool stuff from the 60s and 70s, bands like Rush, Yes, Pink Floyd, Genesis, Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, and the list goes on. So that's kind of where my musical influences started at. And that's kind of where I got the vibe for a lot of my music. So yeah, it was at the age of 11. I remember my dad, he had just gotten his visitation rights back, and he would go down to Tijuana to visit me every other weekend. And when you cross the border, they have a whole line of stuff called curiosidades, and things that people make in Mexico. So my dad came to pick me up for the weekend. I remember we were crossing the border, and this was, if I remember correctly, in 1994. Yeah, because I was born in '83 and I was 11. And 1994 was when Oasis released "What's the Story, Morning Glory," and that album changed my life. When I first saw the video for Wonderball and saw him playing the acoustic guitar and strumming, right at that moment, I knew that was my destiny and that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It gave me a calm, secure feeling of just that acoustic guitar sound strumming, and then Liam's voice sounding so much like John Lennon, and me growing up on the Beatles. I guess I could say my music started at an earlier age, because my dad was a hippie and my mom and them all listened to oldies but goodies, since I was a kid. So that's when I first started my music. At age 11 is when I got my first guitar. My dad bought me a guitar from the border from Paracho, Michoacan. They still sell them there. They're cheap guitars, but and I learned one chord. I remember it taught me how to play the C chord. That was the first chord I ever learned, and then I would just play it from fret to fret. And I was just kind of self-taught. But yeah. So the next question, this is from Mario from Chiapas, Mexico. And he wrote in Spanish, but the translation is, who has been your major musical influences and what shaped your sound? So that's a good question. My Latin friend. My influences, like I said, the Beatles was one of the first things that I ever got influenced by. That was because of my dad. But I'd have to say Oasis is the band. Noel Gallagher, the composer, and Liam Gallagher, the singer, that really made me the rock star that I am today. And I believe they're the last living rock stars besides myself. And a couple others that are still out there, like David Albarn, Gorillaz, he was in Blur before. There's so many good artists out there. But the things that you see on the radio and radio play isn't necessarily, it's pop music. It's pop means popular. The Beatles were pop, but then they went to India, did a bunch of acid, and came back and did Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band. You know what I mean? This is a complete, 180. But um, back to the question. So my influences, number one, from after the Beatles would be Oasis. Um, so my influences are Oasis, and then like everything that's like kind of like indie rockish, from Modest Mouse to Pinback to little local bands that I used to like, and then you can go up to Depeche Mode, New Order, and everything that's in the '80s from The Cure, and then it dropped really heavily in the '90s, which was the grunge era, post-punk, which Nirvana. As you can tell, I have a Nirvana tattoo. My first band was a Nirvana cover band, and we played all B-sides on Nirvana songs that were unknown. And shout out to my boy Alex up in heaven. He was literally Kurt Cobain, of our time. So Nirvana, and this is pretty much every band that's ever headlined Coachella when it was still Coachella 1.0. Before they started adding extra weekends and double shows. So Depeche Mode, Massive Attack, Bjork, Oasis, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Manu Chao, Los Fabulosos Cadillacs, Voodoo Glow Skulls, Buckle 9, Operation Ivy, anybody from Epitaph Records, Rancid, Lars Signal Bastards, Agent Orange, obviously Los Pobres de Tijuana, Los Farmacéuticos, and then there's bands, newer bands that I like, that I kind of get into. I kind of don't listen to new music. I kind of just stay on my own. When I'm creating something, I don't listen to any other person's, any music at all. And I kind of just stick to my musical influences that I grew up on. And I'm kind of a melting pot of my essence. Like, that's kind of what it is for everybody. You know what I mean? When that's going on. Let me see what this next question is here. Alright, so we have Jimmy from New York says, how would you describe your musically no, how would you describe the music you typically create? Okay. So I've created my own genre of music. It's called urban psy, and it's derived from trip hop and psychedelic trance. So when I started playing at 11, around 14, 15, I started having bands, and I was always been in punk rock bands my whole life. I still have a punk rock band that's 30 years old, and we still play. But I don't see them all the time, and I have other bands that we get together, we play, we do reunion tours and stuff like that. Stuff from the past, and I'm always about what's the new, what's the next, what's 10 years from now, what's 20 years from now. So I created Urban Science. So basically, just to break it down for you, they're hip hop beats, or trip hop beats is what they call them, trip hop. And I combined it with psytrance, which comes from Goa trance, which comes from Goa, India, which is the music that they play over there. And it's highly psychedelic. The BPM is super fast. It's like 145 BPM. And I got into that. So after my punk rock stage of 15 to like 18-ish, I started experimenting with drugs, and psychotropics and whatnot, and I went to my first rave. And this is back in the day when it was global underground. There was no such thing as EDM. Tech house and everything was underground. If you went to a club, they only played hip hop music. That's it, or top 40s, whatever. The rave scene was underground, truly underground. Now they have EDC and all these festivals, which is cool for younger kids. But once you grow up, I mean, you grow up, you grow out of what you the last skin you're in. Just like if you're shedding your previous self and becoming the better version of yourself. So that's how I would define the sound of my music. I would say it's if you put on a pair of headphones and you walk downtown Tijuana, that's the sound you hear when you hear urban psy, which is urban psychology, urban psy 101. I'm big on psychology and urban psychology and body language and how people think and profile, especially now going into 2025. It's just sad to see how people are just so judgmental, and let them be, because the only one that can really judge is God. I am a man of God, and as an artist we do these things and we cloak ourselves in certain ways because we want to attract ourselves to certain groups of people to plant seeds of benevolence. See, I work for God, the God of light. Even though I'm cloaked in darkness, you can see all my tattoos and everything and how I am, and it means nothing because this is who I am. This is how I grew up, and it's okay to be whoever you are. Let them profile you. Let them talk. Talk's cheap. Create content. You know what I mean? I don't want to be number one. I want to be the record breaker. I don't follow trends. I'm the trendsetter. So, next question. Urban Psy is my genre. I created my own thing, and that's the world that I live in. It's a world full of peace, love, unity, and respect. Which is all blur. But now I call it mural. M-U-R-L. Mural. Music, unity, respect, and love. So mural instead of blur. I have to keep switching it up and constantly changing it because the younger people, the music industry it's gone. It's all streaming platforms. So as an artist, how am I supposed to support myself and live, support my family, make albums, and continue touring through the whole entire world if nobody's buying your music and they're ripping it off? I'm going to tell you that. Live shows. It's all about the performance. You can have the most immaculate, best album produced by Rick Rubin and his mama and all the angels in heaven, but I'm just a conduit of love. It's really God and Jesus and the universe that I channel through, and I'm constantly channeling. And I heard this from Pharrell Williams, one of my influences. I have a lot of them, and he said, the universe that's why we go to universities, and it's just to see what we like. And you go to this universal library where they have different books and different subjects, and as long as your library pass is working, keep checking out books and keep learning. As long as it's working and it's working for you, keep doing that. It doesn't matter if it's a different style of music. It doesn't matter if it's fashion. It doesn't matter if it's social work. It doesn't matter if you become an artist. Whatever it is that you love. Me, I'm a musician and artist. I'm going to be that my whole life. And I'm going to die making beats. And I hope the last thing ever heard and recorded in a documentary, one of my songs, is a flatline sound. Because I'm doing music, I'm playing on stage for life. And that's my mission. I'm on a mission from God. homies, I'm putting the band back together. So it's all about Portouls Collective, 2025, self-proclaimed Demon Slayer, and you know, I can tell you right now, you can keep your Grammys, but I know that I will receive them, and I'll take advantage of the platform then, so I can speak to the younger people and use the platform correctly to inspire the next generation. Because it's not about me, and it's not about the people that are already above my age. It's about the kids that are growing up, kids that are young, kids that go to elementary, middle school, high school. That's when you transform into whatever it is that you're gonna be, and you understand. Oh, I'm an artist. Maybe I'm into theater. Maybe I'm into gymnastics. You don't know at that time. So high school is still just one more step, and then college you gotta dig and dabble. But it costs money. So go to university. Go to YouTube University. Everything now, thanks to technology, it's free. It's all free until they charge you. But you can only get charged what? What are they going to charge you for? For learning more knowledge? Yes. There are people out there that are called gatekeepers. And what they'll do is they'll keep information from you because they don't want you to grow. Because they're haters. Because your frequency and your energy, since we're in alignment with all the beautiful trees and Mother Nature and God, they can't even be in our presence because we are just simply beings of God, and it's just we shine and we shine on, and we'll continue to shine on and shine on. Let's go ahead and see what this next person asked here. This is okay. So this question is from Graham from Wisconsin. Asks, could you walk us through your creative process when crafting a new piece? Absolutely, Graham. This one goes out for Graham. Cheers. So, when I'm creating a new piece or a new project or a new sound or whatever it is that I'm doing, I always create it from scratch. I never use a template. I don't use loops. I don't use samples. I create everything from scratch because imagine you're using loops and samples that you're buying and getting and downloading shit from the online. You're buying, oh, I have the new drum kit packs. There's 100 other 1,000 fucking people that are buying the exact same ones. You're downloading the same thing that everybody else has. So how are you being original when you didn't create that loop or you didn't sample that sample? You just bought a kit that was already pre-made. So, I wouldn't say that you're an original artist. I'd say that you're a producer. I wouldn't say that you're a composer and that you write music. But your production is made based off of what other artists like I create, which I have created loop backs of my own things, and I give them out for free. And I make beats, and I continue to make urban side beats for the streets, and I give them out to everybody because music should be free, no matter what. And now with the streaming platforms, it's even easier, so even better. So I'm gonna give you a hack for anybody that's younger want to do it. Get DistroKid, DistroKid.com. It's $19.99, $20 a year. You get unlimited distributions of all the amount of songs that you want. You have your own record label, and you get 100% of the profit. Or you can split it if you have a band. However it is that you want to write your music. But yes, I start from scratch. Every now and then, I will confess to you, I might throw in a loop, like a drum loop of a percussion that might be exotic, an instrument that I don't have or can't recreate. I'll find something like that, but I'll always 1,000,000,000% alter it though. Never leave it in its form because somebody else will have it exactly like that. So when I do use samples, and it's very rare. That's if I'm just like on a song and it's just missing something, and I've been working through it too much and it's not flowing anymore. Because people who are creative know that when you're in flow, sometimes you'll do 2, 3 songs in a day. Sometimes you'll do an album in a weekend because you're just in that beast mode. But then sometimes it just happens that you'll go blank for a month, and there's just nothing going on in your head. You know what I mean? You can't really think of anything. So when I create, for me, the best part to do it is right in the morning. Right when you wake up, I feel like nothing from the day is cluttered in my mind. I don't have any vibrational frequencies that aren't other than the sleep that I just woke up from. And my brain is fresh and kind of dull, still waking up. And then I love to have tea with Mary Jane. I watch the sunrise. That color orange that the sun makes at sunrise and at sunset from east to west, 15 minutes before the sun comes up and 15 minutes before the sun comes down, when it goes down, it creates this beautiful hue of orange. And it's the same orange that the monks wear in their uniforms or whatever it is they call their batas, you know. Because that orange color, simply orange, is just, it's the most peaceful, disarming color. And that's another reason why they use this color. I don't know if it's a reason or not. Maybe this is just my opinion. I believe that this is the reason because I'm not a professional. I'm an artist, dude. That's why I get to talk whatever I want to talk because that's my art. But I tripped out that people that are in prison for life, their uniforms are orange and it says DOC on the back, just like the doc. So I'm not gonna connect too many dots because I want to leave stuff up to the other people to think on themselves. What, like if you're into hip hop, what was the West Coast, East Coast hip hop thing? Do you even know? I'm 41. I understand what happens. I understand who we are. Look what I'm rocking. But we're gangsters. We're about respect. We're family men. That was the lifestyle back in the 90s. Now it's 2025. Literally in 2 days. It's about to be a new year. And you guys are still stuck in the past shooting guns? You can't kill a person anymore. Now what you do, you become an artist. If you become an artist, you can express yourself in any way. It can be through pottery, it can be through painting, it can be through music, it can be through sculpting, it can be through dancing, it can be through food, it can be through whatever, skating, bike riding, exercise. There's so many different things. Maybe you're a teacher. What is your calling? It just depends. But yeah, that's how my creative process is. Sometimes it just strikes, and then sometimes I'm out of it. And me with everything that I have with my mental abilities, and I call them now, thanks to Mr. West. I've always gone to music throughout my life since I was a kid. Just putting my headphones on, going to school, and just tuning out of the world and being in my music. That's why my sound is so unique. If you put on one of my beats, you know it's Dana Dow. You know it's an urban side beat because it's psychedelic. It's hip hop with with sidetracks, slowed down at a tempo. That's the walking tempo that Dre uses. And what boom boom boom, boom boom. It's the and one, and the and one is how we rock the beat. Boom boom. See, that's the West Coast. The East Coast, they're more jazzy. They sample a lot of the stuff from old records. It's more broken up. We're on the ones. At least stray beats are. Or And East Coast more is like boom 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 spinning the reels, and they go poetic. Gangster rap on the West Coast is something different because we have Bloods, Crips, and essays. But now we're all united. Now we're the Raider Nation. You know what I'm saying? We're making a change because we understand that music was an outlet that we had because we were products of our environment. And creating music has always been my therapy, and it has saved my life, and it has made me sane in my mental. And when I'm not creating, I don't feel good. I feel depressed. I feel anxiety. And I will say in this interview that I medicate and I go to therapy and I see a psychiatrist and I'm dedicated to it because at one point I wanted to take my own life. What is that about, dude? Like, life is that bad? No, of course not. It's just perspective and how you see everything, how you believe everything. What do you want in life? What are your goals? You're here interviewing me, but I'm interviewing you. What do you want in your life? You want the house with the picket fence and the hot wife? What is that going to give you? You want the hot car and the money with the big bank accounts? What is that going to give you? Where's your spirituality? Where's your balance? What feeds you? McDonald's? No, man. God, the universe, source, all these beautiful trees. The way that it creates oxygen, and we breathe out the carbon monoxide, and the oxygen just comes in, and it's a perfect ecosystem. And we're ruining Mother Earth. And the universe is just giving us these natural disasters, and presidents, and all these things happening. 2024 has been a year of transformation. And more than anything, I want it to be a year of transcendence. Because when you can truly transcend is when you can truly move on to whatever you call the next chapter, the next life, the next stage, whatnot. So let's go on to our next question. So this is from the Hideout 2000 at Gmail. Okay, so it says, what role has your music played in your life, and can you share any instances where it had a profound impact on you? Well, I mean, I kind of just shared that. I mean, I think that was kind of part of the question that I just answered. Um, with my anxiety, I've been diagnosed with several different things. It's changed. I do medicate. I've still. It's been many years, but every now and then I still have episodes sometimes, depending on how I feel, because I'm a human being, and I want to always be a human being. And I think being vulnerable and just being yourself and being transparent and being honest is the most transformative thing as an artist. And currently, right now, I just dropped a trap album. I never was really into trap music. I've always been into rock, and I kind of like lost my gear and stuff, and went through trials and tribulations like we all do. And I found my voice, and I found an appreciation for lyricists like Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Eminem, Game, Dre, Snoop, Lamar. I could go on forever. Logic. I mean, Mortal Technique, Tumex, Visionaries. I mean, there's so much on the hip hop and the gangster rap sides. But I'm a punk rocker for life. I'm rock and roll. So now I'm finding that I can move and dib and dabble as ever God chooses me to be, because what I've understood is that I am a creator, that the creator made me in his image. So I have the ability to create and make new music and make new styles and set new trends. But it's only because of the grace of God, because I've surrendered myself to the universe, and that there's a higher power above me. And that the talents that I have and the abilities that I've been given and the opportunity to breathe and speak every day and give interviews, make new music and put out new albums is the way for me. And different artists have different things. And people check out my page at Portouls, at Dana Dow, Dana like a girl, Dow, D-A, and U like umbrella. Just Google my name and check it out. And if it's for you, it's not for you. If it's not, it's not. But what I'm saying is good music. Good music doesn't mean that it has to be perfect production. We are imperfect people. So the most valuable lesson that I've learned in creating and all of this and growing as an artist is to just be yourself 100% all the time. Just be yourself, vulnerable. I'm a band geek, dude. At the early age of 8, 9, or whatever, I went to go live in TJ, and I had to have protection, and there's gangs and all kinds of stuff going down there. So my lifestyle changed. But I learned at an early age of 19, I learned my lesson. So I came to the United States. I was born here. I was just down there because I got dropped off there. It was circumstances of life. So everybody has a different life, and we need to understand we can't judge people because we don't know what they're going through. You could be talking to somebody at a store, being a complete asshole to them, not even knowing that they have like stage 4 cancer or something. And they could die at any moment. But since everybody's so self-involved with themselves and in their own routines, they don't ever take the time to look at the other people around us and say, hey, what's that person over there doing? That's why I love hanging out with homeless people. That's why my punk rock band name is Bold is Poor. Because that's who I represent. I'm New Cash Records, baby. I am the voice of Johnny Cash mixed with the urban psychedelic trance. It's urban sci. It's a new genre of music. It's a new way of life. It's Urban Sci 101. And it's just understanding that we just need to keep growing and growing and growing. And I'm thankful for everything, and staying in a state of gratitude is really important to me, because as soon as you lose that gratitude, the universe will take away everything from you. And it'll teach you a lesson, and it'll teach you it again, and it'll teach you again over and over and over. I already consider myself to be a highly successful artist in many different ways. Other people might not see me that way, because they might gauge my success on money or cars or houses or whatnot. But what I can tell you is that I have all the luxuries of life. Look it up. Look up the luxuries of life. And money's not one of them. There's money. There's money everywhere. But I have no interest in money. Money has an interest in me. Because I give money no power. It has no power. It's a fake facade. It's Monopoly, Mickey Mouse cheese, homie. Like my boy Dwayne Wayne. You already know Lil Tunichi says. Yeah? Hip hop, Walt Disney, homie. Mickey Mouse cheese. And we move like the cheese in lasagna. Because that's just the way we are, dude. And nobody created me this way. I mean, God created me, but like the artist who I am and what you see on my page, that's raw footage. This is who I am. I don't care, dude. I'm fucking crazy, dude. You know, I get on my moments like Kanye where I'll just have outbursts and stuff because I feel misunderstood. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think some of the best art happens when you are misunderstood. Even though it's a painful process you have to go through, those painful processes and those breakups and those trials and tribulations that are given to us through life are what really crafts and like sculpts our character. And I think that shows through the music. If you look at my older stuff, it's highly produced. It's very professional. And it got to the point where I'm a punk rocker. So I went very professional. Now I'm going back to lo-fi. If you listen to my new album, Tijuana Savage, it just came out. Everything was recorded on, I got a $7 Bluetooth set of headphones from DD's Discounts. And I have a 2021 Android Motorola G-Powered Cricket phone, prepaid. And with those two devices, I did my entire album, and I did my follow-up album, which is the first one is Tijuana Savage. My follow-up album is dropping on January 11th on all streaming platforms. It's called Sin City, and my podcast is also out. It's called Tijuana to Vegas. That is where I talk about the culture shock and the differences about moving around. Obviously, this interview is dedicated to all my fans and the people who support the music and want to know a little bit more about me. I appreciate you guys coming out here and setting up this nice environment for me to explain myself to people who wanted to know the answers to these questions. I know I'm kind of going on a ramble here, but all I have is time. You know what I'm saying? So, alright, so next question, this one is from Evelyn in Connecticut. It says, do you consider yourself a spiritual person? If so, how does spirituality influence your music? Absolutely, yes. Like 1,000,000,000%, like 100%. Amen, hallelujah, every morning that I wake up. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has been, nice enough to me, and I even rocked a little wristband. I got this from Eminem's idea. It's like, he even says in one of his new songs, like, why can't we all just wear like a wristband or something and chill out? But I'm not trying to be flashy about it, but somebody gave it to me yesterday. Actually, while I was here in San Antonio, filming a music video after I went to go to the Riverwalk. I met up with all the homies. There was a car show and motorcycles, and they had all this stuff, and they were doing honking for Jesus, and I got my sign, and I hooked up with all the Cholo homies, and they look at us all crazy, but we're the ones that have been through it. We've been through the trenches, we've been through hell and back so many times, and we got the cultures. But we're not about the flames anymore. We're about the light, we're about creation, we're about the divine, we're about the holy, we're about becoming one with ourselves and one with each other. Anyway, that's where I got that bracelet from. Shout out to Miss Receivers. She has the coolest car. You guys check out my docu-series. You'll see all the cars and stuff up there. I'll be posting it up this week. I like to keep like content fresh and keep coming out. So that people can be interested and see it, because I currently live in Las Vegas, Sin City, and of course they have the best artists there. But at the local scene, I don't see any bands putting out albums. I don't see videos. I don't see podcasts. Like, where are all of these bands at? Like, there's it's like the same 4 bands. I have to keep creating new bands and stuff just because I get bored myself. So maybe I should move. I don't know. I'm touring now. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm all good, but I'm just like, I'm still that guy that wants to be with the guitar, walking around city, playing on the corners, getting my inspiration for urban side because that's where the inspiration comes from. It comes from the urban concrete jungle. And me being the Leo that I am, I love going out. Just like today, they dropped me off downtown, and I got to hear all the sounds and 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 just see all the performers out on Houston Street. And it was just a really cool experience. And if you're just down to do that, you'll you know you'll always find your people. We'll always find you. And if you're an artist, just keep doing you, man. Like, it doesn't matter what anybody says. You know why? Because in the end, whatever makes you happy is the only thing that's important. Let's see here. There's another thing. So this one says, do you believe in a higher power, and does this belief manifest in your creative work? And to go back to what we just talked about, obviously I do believe in a higher power, 100%. How could there not be? Because I think about it in the fifth dimension, fourth dimension, different realms. So when you go to sleep, they say that you have thousands of dreams in a second or in a minute. Now they talk about multiverses and different realities and all these things. So when we're going to sleep, which is supposed to be the time where we're the most comfortable and resting, when you wake up and when you look at your bed, does it look like you had a good time? Does it look like you were well rested? It looks like you were wrestling with yourself, right? Sheets are all over the place, the bed's not made, it's crazy, right? So my trip that I had, since I'm Portals and I am a time bender, I'm the last airbender, and I am a time bender, I'm the self-proclaimed demon slayer. You cannot be around me in my presence. My frequency is too high. I vibe with God and all the chosen ones. Why? Don't ask me, that's the wrong question. I'm answering the question on the paper that the fans want to know. And I said, yes, I do vibe with a higher power. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. However, I study all religions. Buddhism, Christianity, Satanic Bible, whatever it is. Because all knowledge is good knowledge, and knowledge is power. Not power over people, power over self-control and yourself. And I think that's one of the most key things, is being consistent and consistently doing it. If you're not able to do it how you usually do it, find another way. If you can't do that, find another way. Keep going until you get back to where you're at. Now I can tell you an interview that'll last 10 hours, a story about how many times I've lost all of my gear, laptops, everything, back up. Now I'm up and I'm staying up. You know why? Because I learned my lesson. Those who work hard and put in the hard work and want those grandiose dreams, and you want something that's worth it, it's gonna be difficult. Because nothing in this world that's worth something is going to come to you easily, unless you were born into a rich family or whatever. But even then, you're living in a golden cage. You're not free. You're not happy. I see people that have all the money in the world. They're not happy because happiness doesn't come from money. They say money is the root of all evil, but I think not having money is the root of all evil, and that is quoted by Lil Wayne. Again, I don't take credit for what other people say, but they are my influencers. So that's why I like to say Mr. West, Mr. Wayne, Mr. Carter, Mr. Wallace, Mr. Pac, all these people, the Gallaghers, there's just too many people to go over, but thank you for forming me and who I am today. And let's go on to Cindy from San Diego. She says, what is your vision for your musical career? And how do you see it evolving in the future? Well, my vision for my musical career is simple. It's what it's always been. It's punk rock. Raw, real, and just to the point. But I'm always love to do something that's cutting edge, different, pushing the boundaries of social contracts and making people think, making them feel uncomfortable, getting them out of their comfort zones, pushing the buttons, looking wild, making videos, making art, moving around, constantly. I'm an entertainer. So if you're not entertained, then what the hell am I doing, right? God knows what I'm doing. I'm here with you. I'm having an interview. And that's why I know that I'm exactly where I need to be right at this moment. So my vision for my music is to continue to create music in the way that I have. Right now, my project is Red Ivy. As you can see, I have a red ankh because I believe in all religions. I have it over my temple because it keeps the thoughts that are in mind from coming in. And as a creative, when I do create, I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear any new music. I don't want to talk to everybody. I like isolation because when you're completely isolated and there's no outside world to influence your sound or your music, you go back to your roots and you go inward. So you have to go in to go out. In order to go out to the world, you have to go back in and face yourself. That man in the mirror is you. And that's patented by Michael Jackson. There's people out there claiming they're the man in the mirror. Can't claim that, dude. Don't be disrespecting the legacy of the Jackson 5. Are you stupid or something? Do you know what the legacy of the Jackson 5 and what they've left for us? You don't. So all you fake ass, I'm gonna keep my language to dog. But for all you posers out there still posing up around, acting like you're gangsters and this and that, let me tell you right now, dude, my number's 702-689-8661. I live at 4440 Rich Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89102. And if you got anything to say about the West Side or anything that I said, hit me up directly. Don't put your comments on this post. Don't put your comments on this interview. You got my address, homies. You got my phone number. You can call me or you can just show up. Because you know what? I do walk-ups. I do drive-bys. I do whatever I need to do. But not in a violent way. See how that seems aggressive? Just because I'm nice, dude, doesn't mean that I can't be who I am who I am. I've never changed. I just learned discipline. To discipline myself to be the musician and the artist that I am. But don't come trying me with your fake ass shit and your bullshit and this and that. Because I can see right through all of it. And my Uncle Snoop and my grandfather Dre and Lamar and everybody, Gang, West, they all know what I'm talking about. Wayne, dude, we are the chosen ones. Why? I don't know, and that's not the question to answer. The question is who? No, it's not the question either. You don't want to know what the question is? Next question. What is your mission as an artist, and what message do you wish to convey through your music? So my mission as an artist is to inspire at least one other person to create a music video, write a song, pick up an instrument, learn to sing, get into music, get into art, feel motivated, feel inspired, anything that gives positive energy. That's what my mission is with my music. Even though my music is dark, I make music for people who need it. and for people who resonate and feel the frequency that I feel. And that's my mission. I'm on a mission from God. And my words might sound dark. I'm cloaked a certain way. I look a certain way. My videos might look crazy. But I'm telling you, everything has a purpose. And I am crazy. Honk, honk, bitch. Next question. Can you tell us about any other egos or personas you adopt in your performances? I just mentioned Red Ivy. So my name is Dana Christopher Dow. I have Dana Dow, which is like my acoustic, um, more like loving, romantic part of myself. And I have Red Ivy, which is my, more of my gangster personality of when I was growing up, a way for me to channel that energy in that section. And then I have my name, Dana Dow, which is just the raw acoustic sounds with the cellos and the orchestras. And then I have Portals, and the world of Portals, and the Portals Collective, which is all these artists that you see that I put up on YouTube that are busking. They're all in Portals Collective. You're in Portals Collective. You don't even know it. Why? Because I said so. It's my world and I does what I do. And that's one of the words of Young Jerry. Young Jeezy. Because these are people that I'm learning from, that I look up to, that I hope to one day collaborate with, and I know that I will. I just don't know when, but I'm just prepared for the time. But all I have is time. Once you realize that time is an illusion, your interviews will start getting longer and longer. I start drinking just a little bit slower. Really enjoying that flavor, you know what I mean? It's just like music. You gotta give it a chance. See? That moment right there was just one of the most beautiful moments of this whole interview. It's to sit here in silence, taste something in my mouth, my senses, like we're here in nature. Mother Earth inside my body. It's really amazing how God does these things, or the universe, or source, or however you want to feel. It places us in these situations to where I always come out on top no matter what, because I'm winning all the time. My mindset has been changed. It's not changing back. It's like a frequency that you tune into. Once you're tuned in, don't tune out. And if you get tuned out, there's 2 books I could recommend to you: The Secret and The Vortex. Those are 2 things I could recommend for you to read. 2 albums to listen to: The Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, which is a double album masterpiece, and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band, double vinyl masterpiece. Something old, something new. Capping it. Now, let's see here. I think this is this is the last mission. Oh, it says, those are my alter egos: Red Ivy, Red Eye. I go by Dana Dow. They call me Dip. My family calls me Chris. It's my middle name. My name is Dana Christopher Dow. So my family calls me Christopher. But after my dad passed away, I started going by Dana Dow, and I have his name tattooed here under my rings and where I'm from or whatnot. So now I'm Dana Dow Jr., and that's how I present myself. So then the last one that has my name, I I remember my dad always told me, he's like, if you don't have any boys, the name dies with you. So I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna make thousands of music babies, put them online, and live forever. Just like my boys from Oasis have taught me. And as an artist, I think that's the way to live forever is through music or through your art, whatever it is your craft is. And I think leaving it for the next generation is the most important thing. And understanding that it's never about us or what we're doing in the moment. We might feel like it is, and let's enjoy the ride because the universe is allowing us to have it. But at the same time, we also have to be constantly building for the next generations because we need to make sure that we make those gaps happen over and over and over again. And every time it's rebooted, it's recycled, it's upcycled. We need to make it better, faster, and stronger until it gets to the point where we can live in this utopic, wonderland that is Earth. It's just people are stupid and don't understand that technology is making them dumb. The internet's making them dumb. The internet's fake. I mean, they put whatever they want on there. They believe everything. Research for yourself. Go travel the world. Like, there's a war going on over there? Just because you saw it on the news across the pond. Did you see it by yourself? I've never met anybody that's been on the fucking moon. I don't even know anybody that's in NASA. And you're telling me that all this shit happened? Fuck that. Stanley Kubrick did that shit. Space Odyssey, bro. But I'm not even gonna get into that, you know what I mean? Because this interview is not about that. This interview is about the people who ask me the questions. And me being honest and transparent with them, you know what I mean? But I'll save all that for another time. I ran all day. Let me go for the last question here. So, the last question is from. We are right here. This one is from Krishna. It says, what advice would you offer to aspiring musicians who look up to you? I think the most important. How can I rephrase this? Let me think for a second. What advice can I give you? Always be yourself. Don't change for anyone. Never quit your daydream. It doesn't matter who it is, your friends, your family, even if it's the world, be yourself. We've all been oppressed, we've all hurt, especially artists. They say you hurt an artist, don't make a symphony. All people hurt, we all have the same emotions, we're all built equally, we all feel the same pains, we all go through the same things. Some people show it, some people don't. That's just them. But be authentic to yourself is the most important thing that I can say as a musician. Be authentic to your music and your craft. If you have an idea and it's weird or whatever, people aren't digging it, but you dig it, go with it. You know why? Because 10 years from now, they might understand or might not. It's not for them, it's for you. Remember, as an artist, we're selfish people. We're making the art for ourselves. Fuck if anybody likes it. I'm sorry to say it that way. But if you're not satisfying your own creative juice and your own creative flow, and you're being with source in your most happy being and happy thing, then you're not an artist. Then you're making and you're working for the devil, bro. That means that you're making music to sell it. That means you're making music that you think other people will like. What the fuck do you care what other people like, dude? Are you that fucking insecure? You don't deserve to be on the platform. You don't deserve to be an influencer. You don't deserve to be respected or seen as an artist. At least not by me, homie. Not in my book. For me, if you lose my respect, that's it. I don't have time anymore. When I was 15 years old to 25 years old in bands and DJing, sure. I'm 41 years old. I have a bunch of music out there. Nobody buys it, nobody supports it, but I went through COVID, 2019, all the way now. 2025, Portals will be out, I will be performing, I will be coming to a city near you. And yet, the show, the production is going to be great. The ticket pricing might be a little bit more like costly than a local show, but I'm going to bring you a production, an audiovisual production, something you haven't seen before, something different. And I can tell you haven't seen it before because you've never seen it before. I've only performed one time, and it was right before COVID. And I got upset. I remember I was mad at God, and I couldn't believe how much work I put into it. But you know what? Wasn't the right time. I understand that now. And here I am 6 years later, rebooting that album. It's called Demon Sign Dotted Lines. But at the same time, I'm doing Red Ivy. At the same time, I'm doing Dana Dow. I'm doing my doggy series. I'm doing my podcast. So, if you're starting out, what else can I recommend? Be yourself. If you need distribution and a way to get your music on platforms, use DistroKid, DistroKid, distrokid.com. It's $20 a year, and you can upload as many songs as you want with your curl and put up your own platform and be your own indie label. Last year in 2024, sorry, not 2024, it was a slow year for me. The previous year in 2023, I put up over 100 songs to DistroKid, distributed out. It's all over the internet. Anything from iTunes to Apple Music to Deezer, it puts you on everywhere, even on Facebook and stuff, and Reels, on Instagram. So DistroKid, kids. Google DistroKid. Distribution. $20 a year, put up your music, get going. If you already have music, upload everything, get going. It also does music videos and other stuff. I'm not doing that. I do my own music videos DIY. I get my little camera, I film, however, doesn't matter. The content creation is the most important thing. Consistently create content. Don't stop. If you're a beast, become a monster. If you're a monster, become a beast. If you're a beast monster, become a monster beast, monster beast. It does not matter. Just keep checking those books out from the university, from the library. Keep checking yourself out. Keep pushing the boundaries of music. Keep creating new things. Everything has already been created. That's the thing. We're just here to reform things and put them in our own person and to make our own social structure of what we want our art to be. Every chord already exists. Everybody's talking about, but how you play it is different. Nobody will play your chord the way I play it. No, I can't play the chord the way you play because I am not you. And each and every one of us, we don't think we're all unique. We all have a unique voice, a unique art form, a unique gift to give to the world and to share with everybody else. And I think that's one of the most important things, is sharing. Remember, Care Bear sharing is caring, homie. I'm a super gangster dude, but I'm all about that love thing, dude. I'm on that love button, like Kanye said. You know, get a lot of whiplash and backlash from this and that and when, but I ain't stopping. Ain't nobody stopping me. Can't stop, won't stop by the rock. Well, I'd like to thank everybody, I guess, for these questions. That was pretty cool. Thank you guys for setting up this spot for me to answer these answers. Does it answer these answers? Huh. Really nice out here. Alright, thank you guys very much. Alright, peace out, y'all.